On this episode of the Massive Agent Podcast, we're talking about why Instagram stories are so effective and so awesome for real estate agents. And stay tuned to the end of the show. I've got something super special.
The Massive Agent Podcast, with lead generation tips and strategies to get you more leads and sell more homes.
I love to buy houses. I like to sell houses.
It takes brass balls to sell real estate.
Wait a minute.
The leads are weak. You're weak.
I've had better.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Here's your host, Dustin Brohm.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 92 of the Massive Agent Podcast. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for listening for the first time, whatever it is. Welcome. If you are new to the show, my name is Dustin Brohm, your host. I am a real estate agent in Salt Lake City, Utah. I have been for about 9 years or so with eXp Realty, and I am a national speaker, trainer, and real estate marketing coach, host of the Industry Connected podcast, and co-founder of Real Estate's media network, the Industry Syndicate, which this show is a proud founding member of. I'm also the founder of the Massive Agent Society. So earlier this week, I was in Los Angeles speaking to the California Association of Realtors. They're doing their big annual convention, and they had 8,000 or 9,000 people registered for the event. I spoke the very first day at what they called the master classes. So they did a whole day, social media day, where every 30 minutes or so they had a new topic, and there was so much great stuff shared. And so I did a talk on why the stories format is so effective. And so I've had a lot of people that are like, hey, was this recorded? Can I see this? Where can I see the talk? And so I decided I'm going to do the presentation here on the show for you. I'm just going to basically go over, and this time I don't have the time constraints of the event. So if I want to dive a little bit deeper on something, I can, but I'm going to be giving you the presentation in a little bit more detail that I gave to the Reimagine conference earlier this week in LA. So that's going to be cool. And then make sure you stay with us till the end of the show. I'm doing something super special, and I think you're going to like it. I'm going to be talking about something in a way that you might not have heard, you might not have considered. This is definitely something, if you have any interest in getting more leads into your business and controlling how to do that, I'm going to talk about stuff in a way that maybe you haven't thought about it. And so it could be extremely impactful. Super special. Stay tuned to the end of the show, and there's an extra little bonus in there for you. So real quick, I'm going to be in, let's see, what's today here? Oh boy. Today is the 26th of September, 2019. It's crazy. 2019 is almost up. It's fall. The first day of fall was Monday. Awesome. I'm going to be in New York City. I'm going to be in Staten Island on October 4th for the Staten Island Board of Realtors Lunch and Learn there. I'm also going to be in Madison, Wisconsin, October 23rd and 24th. Or is it 24th and 25th? I should probably Google this real quick. Please hold. See, I'm glad I Googled it. October 24th and 25th in Madison, Wisconsin for the Agent Rise Summit. Go to agentrisesummit.com. I believe they still have a few spots available. They only have a spot for 50 people. It's a close-knit mastermind that Neil Mathweg is doing. Super awesome. I'm excited for that. And so if you're going to be in any of those areas, let me know. I'd love to see you. And then real quick, before I get into the talk on Instagram stories and why they're so amazing for real estate agents, you've heard me talk about our Massive Agent Minute Flash Briefing, and it's on the Alexa platform, right? Oh boy, I'm going to be talking about her a lot. I should probably unplug this. Okay. She's always listening anyway. She's probably, eventually Amazon's going to figure out a way to just whether there's battery or not, it'll just listen. And then when you plug it back in, it's like, oh, I remember all the stuff you said when I was unplugged. Anyways, if you don't have an Alexa device, you can't listen. Right. So what I did, I decided that I would just go ahead and make it available on Apple Podcasts. So wherever you are listening to this podcast, you can listen to the Massive Agent Minute Flash Briefing. There's a brand new episode every single day, 7 days a week. And if you want, you can even go back a couple hundred episodes and listen to some of the previous episodes. So that is now available, Massive Agent Minute on Apple Podcasts. So that means it gets distributed out to Overcast and iHeartRadio. No, never mind. Not iHeartRadio. It goes Apple Podcasts, to Pocket Cast, Overcast, a few other places. So it's available. So we have this show once a week, and then we have the Massive Agent Minute every single day. It's a much shorter thing, 2 to 5 minutes every single day as an extension of this show. So go check that out. You guys who don't have Alexa devices, you're welcome. Or I'm sorry. I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it and if you want to hear more of my voice or not. So you're welcome, and I'm sorry. All right, so let's get into Instagram stories, why they're so freaking effective and awesome. So at the Reimagine conference, my talk was called #Unfiltered Micro Moment Storytelling. That's really what it is, but that is just barely breaching the surface. So I'll tell you why stories are so effective. I'm going to give you some specific content ideas, tactics, and hacks that you can do with stories. And this isn't just for Instagram. This is Facebook stories, Messenger stories. If you use WhatsApp stories, pretty soon LinkedIn stories, pretty soon Amazon stories, whatever the hell. I don't know. YouTube has stories, for God's sakes. And then I'll give you some cool apps that you can use to make your Instagram stories better. See, this is kind of cool. I'm going through my slides here, my keynote presentation, and so normally my podcast, I completely wing it. Like I have a few notes of things I want to talk about, but now I have a guide. This is nice. I feel organized, and it's like I had a practice run the other day at the conference. This is kind of weird. Anyways, you got to understand my story of how I first came across this. All right, because it'll show you the power rather than just saying Instagram stories are so wonderful because you can tag people and whatever. What it's all about is how powerful it can be to let people get to know you. So I need to go look up the date on this. I'm not going to take the time to Google it, but it was 4 years ago-ish when Snapchat maybe it was 3 years ago, when Snapchat was really blowing up within our industry and others. It was becoming much more mainstream. This was way before Instagram stories. And so I decided I was going to use Snapchat. I was going to figure it out. And so I started just following some people, and I didn't get it at all. I'm like, this is so stupid. How could I ever use this as an agent? And then I saw somebody string together a series of 10-second snaps, and they made a story out of it. And it was probably like 2 minutes or something. And they were telling a story, and it was just one snap after another, after another, after another. And I was like, that's when it clicked for me. It made sense. Okay, I can use it to tell stories and show what I'm doing. And awesome. Now I get it. Now I just need to get people to listen, right? So I wrote an article for Inman about why I was jumping on Snapchat for real estate for that year. I think it was 2017. And so they published it, and I woke up the next morning and I had 1,500 new Snapchat followers. And then the next day, the same thing. And the next day, the same thing. And with Snapchat, you don't ever know how many followers you have. You can just see how many people are watching your story. But I had thousands. And so I realized, okay, 99% of my audience is other real estate agents. So I'm going to just start sharing the cool stuff that I've done to grow my own real estate business. It started with blogging. It started, blogging, and then YouTube, kind of YouTube, and social media and everything. And it really started to take off. So I'm just going to start telling the story, giving some tactics, giving some advice on Snapchat to these agents that are now following me. What I found is that the communication back and forth with this face-to-phone video in this whole new format, because prior to Snapchat doing it this way, you were just like recording a video and posting it. You realize Snapchat kind of changed everything. And so I realized these people I started talking to on a regular basis, I enjoyed talking to them. And we start talking like friends would. And pretty soon, because I'm seeing them and their face talking directly to me, I see their eyes, I see their mouth moving, I can see their body language, and they would see mine. And we started to develop actual relationships and friendships with these other agents. Now, what started happening is I started getting a lot of referrals from agents who started to know me as the Salt Lake City guy, which was fantastic. But even beyond that, we decided, hey, a bunch of you guys were friends on Snapchat. Let's get together in Park City, Utah, and do a mastermind. And 5 of us were there, right? It wasn't this big thing, but 5 of us showed up. Chelsea Pites, Shannon Milligan, Jason Frazier, and Bucky Beeman. And we met when they first got into Salt Lake. I met him downtown. We all met at this one Starbucks, and then we were going to go up to Park City. And it was crazy. We started talking, and I've never met these people before, just on Snapchat. We sit down and we start talking like we'd been old friends. There was no awkwardness. There was no like, whoa, you're not like I expected. Everyone was exactly like I expected. And we all noticed the same thing. We're like, wow, like, guys, we just became friends through phones, like through social media. Like, we know each other already. We actually know each other. And ever since then, I've realized this is the medium that will let more consumers at a local level get to know me, get to know who I am, get to know my personality, and then make a judgment call on whether or not they like me. They can then decide, do they like me or not? And so it completely changed my life with these friendships and relationships that I built. And it gave me the platform of, being able to help other agents within the industry. It was really the launching pad to starting the SnapPack Facebook group. And then this podcast a year and a half ago. And it started everything. But I look back at the paradigm shift in my mind of, wow, you can actually really get to know somebody by talking to a phone and sending them that video and then watching the video they send back. So guys, it's all about personal connections. And if you can do that at scale, if you can have 100, 200, 1,000 people watching that video and more than just one of them making a personal connection with you and deciding, hey, I like you, I'm going to keep watching you and getting to know you and eventually reach out to you to hire you. That is amazing. There's nothing more powerful. So Instagram ended up ripping it off. Mark Zuckerberg, total savage, ripped off what Snapchat was doing, and now they do it a hell of a lot better. It's a lot better than Snapchat in a lot of ways. And so I mentioned Facebook stories, Instagram stories, Snapchat. If you use WhatsApp, I don't, but if you use WhatsApp, they have stories as well. I really think at some point Amazon's going to have stories because YouTube has it and LinkedIn will next. But everybody watches stories. Okay, aside from the effectiveness of them, everyone is watching them. My wife, I love my wife, is absolutely incredible. For the record, when she unwinds, she'll sit and watch Instagram stories of people she looks up to or just her friends and family. And she'll watch Instagram stories for 30 minutes at a time or an hour at a time sometimes. She's not watching TV. I mean, sure, she might watch, Netflix or something, but that's how she unwinds, is just watching stories on Instagram. And the numbers back it up too. So first of all, know this. By 2020, 78% of all mobile traffic will be video. Okay, that's 80%. 80% of all traffic on the internet, on a phone, will be video by next year. If that's not telling you something, I don't know what does. But then this, 1.7 billion accounts use the stories format daily. That is mind-boggling. So here's what that means. On a daily basis, 500 million. So this is as of April 2019 from TechCrunch. These are TechCrunch numbers from April of this year. Facebook and Messenger stories, 500 million users per day use stories. Instagram stories, 500 million people per day. WhatsApp stories, or what they call status, 500 million per day. Snapchat, 190 million per day. All that adds up to 1.7 billion users using stories every single day. So look, it's effective as hell, and everyone's watching them. I mean, I should probably just end the podcast here because that really tells you all you need to know. But I'll keep talking because I'm a podcaster and that's what I do. So then, if you're wondering okay, cool. You've sold me. I should be doing Instagram stories more. And if you're listening, you probably are to a certain extent. But I haven't even done a good enough job. I haven't done a good enough job of being consistent with just documenting my day and letting people see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and get to know me more. I can do a much better job. I think we all can. So then what do you talk about? Okay. If you're one of those people that's like, I haven't really done it much. I've just dabbled. I'd like to. You've sold me. Everyone's watching, and it's extremely effective for making personal connections. It's literally the next best thing to sitting down face to face. And in my opinion, it's better because you can have 1,000 people all making that connection with you at the same time. You cannot meet with 1,000 people at once. So anyways, so talk about just what's going on locally. Show what you're doing that day, and not all day. Like don't do 50 or 75 stories that day. Just like I'm doing comps now and all that, but just like do comps and say, here's how I value a property. Here's the things we consider. And you can use that chance to educate somebody, show how you're doing comps and why it's important and what it means and all that stuff. But if even the not real estate related stuff is gold, what's going on locally? Go to local events, the high school football games, stuff like that. Like tree lighting ceremonies around Christmas and stuff like that. You have to start thinking of yourself as the local media company, the local newspaper, the local news channel. What kind of stories do they cover? Not news and politics. Okay, exclude that. But what other stuff do they cover? Why don't you do the same thing on your stories? Think about all those local travel blogs that, the 10 best things to do in Salt Lake City on a rainy day, right? Those topics, people seek out those topics and they share them and they talk about them and they interact with them and want to know that stuff. It's not like the 10 things you need to know before buying a house. Well, if you're not actively looking for that information, if you're not actively in the market, no one gives a shit. They really don't. So you want a wide audience here of people that keep coming back, or do you want to just like basically alienate everyone who's not currently in the market? Obviously, it's the former. So think like a local travel blog as well. And then what gets your attention? What is it when you're scrolling through Facebook, when you're scrolling through Instagram, when you're watching stories? What gets you to watch? What is that post or story about? How is it done? Is it something colorful? Is it something moving? Is it a picture of someone specifically? Is it music? Is it humor? Nostalgia? Nostalgia is gold. All right. Nostalgic stuff is gold. The other day I was at Shields. It's this sporting store. It's like, it's kind of like Cabela's, but it's like Cabela's meets Sports Authority, and it's all sporting stuff. And they had this whole section of toys. Like my son went over and was playing with toys, and I see Teddy Ruxpin, and then I see, what was it? Like, Light Bright, I think it is. Like all these toys from my childhood that they remade. And I'm like, oh my God. And it got my attention because it's bringing back all these memories. We love nostalgic stuff. Look at all the movies being made right now. They just redid Lion King and Aladdin and, everything else. They're redoing everything that we used to love because nostalgia works. It sells. So think about how you can show something nostalgic online, in your social media, in your stories. Humor. But please, for the love of God, only if you're funny. Don't try to do humor if you're not funny. Please, it's not good. Interesting local stuff, but do not do the super boring, hey, I'm out showing my super average home with a really uninteresting kitchen with Formica countertops in this backyard with no grass, and you got to come see it. Like, don't do that stuff. That's lame. It really is. You don't have to do that stuff. Do stuff that's actually interesting. You don't need to be talking about real estate all the time. You've heard me before many times, and one of our top episodes ever is the one on why you should stop talking about real estate. I really think your content on all platforms should be about real estate 10% of the time and 90% about you or the community. You or the community, or both. 90% of the time, talk about something other than real estate. Show them who you are. Okay. Again, the power of this medium is people can get to know you. They can make that personal connection with you. They can see when somebody's watching you talk and they do it a few different times over a few different days, weeks, whatever, they get to know you and your personality. All right. And you'll find that you're going to attract the right people, but only if you actually show them who you are. Okay. Show them your personality. Some examples. I think you've heard me talk about this before, but so in Utah, locally, we joke around that in Utah, or Salt Lake specifically, there's only two we only have 2 seasons in Salt Lake. There's winter and road construction. Everyone knows that, once the snow thaws, or once the snow melts, the construction barrels come out and they just start ripping shit up. And it's road construction until winter comes again. So I was driving down the road, I was stopped at this red light. There was a construction barrel over to the right. I took out my phone, took a photo of it on Snapchat at the time, and then just put a little caption that said the Utah State Tree. That's it. The Utah State Tree. And I got a lot of responses on Snapchat, but then I downloaded the image and posted it on my local Facebook page, my business page. And it started getting shared like crazy and people commenting like crazy because it's something you don't have to think about. It's not this big elaborate thing. It's like people go to watch stories and go on social media to unwind. They're not going to look for homes. They're not going to find a real estate agent. If they do, it's because they just happened upon it. So we overthink this shit so much. Guys, a photo of an orange construction barrel with the caption Utah State Tree killed it online for me, social media. I got so many new followers. The reach was out of control. I believe, I should probably look up the stats, but I had thousands of shares, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments, and it just went nuts because it's something easy that everyone knew when they saw it. Everyone got it. They didn't have to overthink it, and they weren't like, well, that would be funny, but a real estate agent posted it. No, they just see it, and someone shares it, and that's how you get on people's radar, is just putting out stuff that's not real estate related. Another thing you can do is polls on Instagram stories. I love doing polls. The other day, like just last week or something, there was a new photo that just came out of a pair of sneakers, not a pair, but one shoe, and it's like some people see pink and white, some people see mint and gray. It's obviously mint and gray, but some people see pink and white, and if you saw that on my story, you know what I'm talking about. So I on the story, I posted the picture, and then I just did a little poll. I said, which colors do you see, mint and gray or pink and white? And that people it's so easy because they just click one, and it's something they don't have to think a lot about. And what happens is that shows Instagram, wow, this story is getting a lot of engagement. Maybe this profile or this page, if it's Facebook, they have great content. So then if you continue doing stuff that gets high engagement, you're teaching the algorithms to show your stuff to more people. That's all these platforms care about, is high quality stuff. So this is a really, really easy way. And then afterwards, after all these people voted, I shared the results. Because people like voting, but then they also like to see the results. So I share the results again, just another way to get people engaged. So once again, guys, rarely talk about real estate. Rarely. Okay. Now show what you're doing throughout the day, but that's about you and what you do for a living. It's not you're ramming real estate stuff down their throat. All right. Rarely talk about real estate if you want them to keep tuning in regularly. Okay. You can have people vote on paint colors for a house. Hey, in your stories, do you like this paint color or this one? Ask questions that are easy to answer. Don't ask big, elaborate questions. Just ask easy to answer questions. This isn't just for stories. This is for anything you do on social media. Ask questions. It gets people to respond and engage. Do polls. Does this house have the best kitchen or this one? Before and after pictures. Let people vote on the best view between different homes. Like, the sky's the limit. A few apps that I really, really love that will help you with your stories and your social media in general. The first one is Cut Story. Cut Story is great because Instagram only lets you do 15 seconds at a time. Facebook stories are 20 seconds at a time. So if you have a video that you recorded that's a minute, you can't upload that to Instagram stories. You have to cut that minute up into 15-second segments. So Cut Story does that very easily. You open the Cut Story app and then upload the video or select the video and then just say which platform you want it to go on. So you click Instagram and it automatically chops it into 15-second increments. And now each one of those is a separate video that you now upload into Instagram stories, and boom, now you have a continuous 1-minute story told in Instagram stories format. Same with Facebook stories and everything else. It chops it up into different durations depending on the platform you're doing. So Cut Story is amazing. I also love Over. Over is the the app that I use for graphic design, any kind of photo editing, putting logos or text or whatever on top of images, I use Over. It's extremely simple. The free version is more than sufficient, but I paid for premium because you get access to a hell of a lot of really cool fonts and templates and graphics and stuff like that. I think it was like $60 for the year. Definitely do that. It's called Over, Over. And then In Stories is a cool one where you can specifically create Instagram stories, add transitions, do cool, they look very professionally done stories. And In Stories is a great app for that. But this is not going to surprise you at all, guys. The key to success on all of this, on all of it, is consistency. You cannot just do stories for a week and then stop and wonder, wait, how come I'm not being hired to list homes? Like, Instagram stories must not work. A week's not going to do it. A month's not going to do it. 6 months might not even do it. But look, I'm telling you guys, when you do stuff consistently, your audience will grow, especially if you get your engagement up, if it's actually interesting stuff, it's not all about real estate all the frickin' time, you will do well. How long that takes to start seeing results, I have no idea. It depends on you. It depends on a lot of things. But the only way to find out is to be consistent. If you are not consistent, you will not get results. That is a fact. You can absolutely count on that. I think back to when I first started in real estate and how I was doing stuff that I really didn't like, but I thought it was the only way, like door knocking and sending letters and postcards. And I'm talking like only sending letters and only sending postcards and, wondering why, oh my God, after 2 postcards, I'm not getting business. This must not work. That stuff's cool to do as long as it's in addition to all your other stuff, right? But I thought cold calling and door knocking was the way real estate agents get business. I did not know any other way. I cannot imagine if we had Instagram stories at the time, and if I knew what I know now about how to do it the right way, I would have hit the ground running. I could have been freaking rookie of the year. Seriously. I mean, I would have done so much better. I would have had so much, I would not have had the financial struggles that I had for so many years, and which put so much pressure on my family and my absolutely incredibly strong wife who put up with my shit and the struggle for years. I don't know why she's still with me, but thank God she is. I would have missed all that. Now, look, that all made me the man I am today. So I'm not saying that I regret any of it. I'm not saying that. But if you're just starting out, don't choose struggle when you can do shit right now. Do it right now. So you have Instagram stories available now. You can do this stuff correctly now. You just have to put in the work to do it. Look, if you're new, you have a huge advantage. You can start doing things the right way from day one. Those of us that have been in the business for years, we have bad habits. We have perspective of what's been working in the past, which may be clouding our judgment with what we should be doing to work for the future. You can start right now doing the right stuff. So you actually have a huge advantage. You just have to look at it that way. All right. So I told you that I was going to do something a little special and give you a little extra perspective that maybe you didn't have before. So specifically talking about lead generation. All right. So you've heard me talk in the past about how, when I was struggling so bad that I had to start Googling how to get real estate leads. And, aside from the organic content I was creating, I started blogging and started doing Snapchat and stuff and putting some of that stuff on YouTube and doing social media content for organic business. But then I also realized, hey, there's this huge opportunity here with Facebook ads. I'd heard Google ads were great too, but they're much more expensive and a freaking beast, also known as a bitch, to learn. It's not a user-friendly platform. Facebook ads really is. It's just complicated when you're learning. There's a lot of little things that you have to know, and it takes practice like anything else, right? So I jumped in and started doing Facebook ads, and it was trial and error. And then I read articles and watch YouTube videos and try to figure it out, and then something would work for me, and then it would stop working. And I wouldn't have a freaking clue. I would not have a clue of what happened. So I'm like, okay, I guess I need to do a new ad. So I do a new one, and then that didn't perform very well. And then I try another one that didn't perform very well. And then another one did. And it was just this trial and error that took so long. Okay. It took so long because at the time I was cheap. I was thinking, well, I can't afford a coach. I can't afford a course. I can't afford anything other than just, trying it out and Googling, Facebook ads for real estate and trying to find templates out there, right? Well, look, there's no shortage of information out there. If all you want is just a template for a Facebook ad, there's a million of them. Is it going to work for you? I have no idea. Look, here's what you need to know. Facebook ads absolutely, without a doubt, work. That is a fact. All right, there are brands like Purple Mattress and Target and Amazon and let's see, who else do I see Facebook ads? There are a lot of mattress companies. I get hit with a lot of mattress ads, but like Trifecta Systems, it's like some food prep thing. Like there's so many brands out there, all right, that have built their entire business with Facebook ads. So they must work, right? But then if you're sitting there frustrated, you're like, well, I tried this ad or I found this template or someone told me to run this one ad and I copied and pasted and it didn't work. Well, what if it did if you just knew how to make a few little tweaks, right? But if you don't have any mentor, how are you going to know what to do? Like you can only Google and YouTube stuff so much. And then how does Google and YouTube, how does that video that you found help you diagnose why your ad isn't working? Okay, that right there is the key. If you guys want control of your own lead gen, you have to have some mentor who can help you look at it and say, look, here's all the data that you're given. Like you copied and pasted this ad. This ad works for plenty of other people. You just have, because you live in a different market, demographics are slightly different, or what you're offering, that list of homes that you're offering is slightly different, and the price point's different in your area. If you get one little thing off, if one little thing's wrong, you're not going to do it right, and it's not going to work as well. And so you might incorrectly think, well, this ad doesn't work, or Facebook ads don't work in my market. If you've ever thought that, you're wrong, okay? And I don't say that to step on your toes as much as like, look, no, you're wrong. Like, let's show you how to do it the right way. Okay. Don't give up. Please don't give up. Don't just go give your money to Zillow. So having a mentor, having somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, who can look at your ads and the data that you're given in your Facebook ads manager and decipher it for you and help you say, hey, you know what? Here's where this isn't working. Maybe you should change this, try this, test this. That is what separates those that just dabble in Facebook ads, dabble in lead gen, and decide it's not going to work for me. I better just outsource it to somebody else and spend way more than I should, or heaven forbid, go to Zillow or Realtor.com and get garbage. There's people that are just getting garbage leads and paying way too much, or paying way too much for the leads they could do themselves, leads they could get themselves. But you don't have to do either one. You just have to take some time and find the right mentor to help you along the way. So here's what's kind of cool. I'm doing something that I haven't done in a long time, and this was super popular last time I did it. And I'll get to that in a second. But back in, what was it? May of 2018, I knew that this was a problem. I knew people were struggling with paying way too much to Zillow. They needed leads. They needed leads now, but they didn't quite know what to do, or they tried Facebook ads and it didn't work. It didn't work for them because what they were doing just wasn't right. It wasn't done the right way. And I knew there had to be some way to help as many people as possible without charging $5,000 a month or more. Like some of these Facebook ad coaches, if you want one-on-one or group coaching, it's $2,000, $5,000 a month. Well, that's just not realistic, especially if you're a brand new agent or you're an agent struggling like I was, who you literally only have enough for your Facebook ad spend, maybe a few $100 more. But you can't do much more than that. So I thought, well, how do I create something that will help agents? So with those agents who are new, who are struggling or trying to implement a new system, or those who just flat out are tired of overpaying elsewhere, they want to take lead generation into their own hands, I created the Massive Agent Society. And at the time, look, I feel like I've underserved you guys who are not members, because I've made a much bigger deal about the database of Facebook ads we have, of proven ads that you can copy and paste. That's great. Yes, they work. Our members are copying and pasting them and getting a bunch of leads and closing deals. Yes. but most of them need a little extra help to decipher, hey, why isn't this working as well as it should? What can I do better? How can I make this better? How can I, instead of having a $4 lead, how can I get it down to $2.50 or whatever? Hey, this is $10 a lead. How do I get it down to $4? So the real value is having this group of other lead generating agents from all around the country. They have perspective of what's working in their markets. And then I know a lot, like I'm definitely, well, this is hard for me. I don't know why it's hard for me to toot my own horn like this, but I know my shit when it comes to Facebook ads. I've done extremely well, not just with my own business, but helping other agents with theirs. And so for less than 6 months of coaching with Tom Ferry, asterisk, with one of Tom Ferry's people. So hang with me here. I'm about to give you a discount code for $1,000 off a lifetime membership. You're basically, and I haven't done this for since way before summer. I think it was spring or something. For the price of an annual membership, you're going to be able to have lifetime access, be the only agent in your market who can be in the Massive Agent Society and have access to our ads. And more importantly, the hand-holding, the mentorship, and coaching one-on-one moving forward with a one-time payment. Okay. You're going to be able to do that for the same price as annual. I'll give you a code for that in a minute. Basically, for $19.99, for less than $2,000, you can have one payment, never make another payment, and claim your market forever. The way we have it set up, because we have all these people opening up and sharing their strategies and asking vulnerable questions, or asking questions in a vulnerable way, I guess. Only one agent per market can join. I don't want 19 different agents in Chicago. I don't want 6 different agents in Kansas City. I want one agent per market, so that if you have claimed your market, you literally are the only person in your entire market who is in there. So you can speak freely. You don't have to worry about competitors. You don't have to worry about anything. You can speak freely. And what's great too is if you're the only agent in Kansas City, for example, you're going to be getting referrals. Okay. We have a built-in referral network. So if you have been on the fence about the Massive Agent Society, guys, look, we have agents who go to the website, look at the testimonials. Our Facebook page, we post testimonials every now and then, but they're closing $900,000 deals off Facebook ads. I mean, it takes a few months, to close the deals, of course, and most leads don't lead to that, but you close one of those, it's all paid for. Okay, one single closing, and you can pay off, make a positive ROI on the $19.99 one-time fee to become a member of the society. So here's what you get. You get exclusive ownership of your market. There will not be another agent in your market as long as the earth is spinning in this Massive Agent Society. You will be the agent. So if you're in Sioux Falls, you will be the Sioux Falls agent forever. And so all of our Facebook ads that you can copy and paste, you're going to be the only one running those in your market. You're going to be the only one who can get referrals from the other guys who are, and gals who are running Facebook ads and getting a ton of leads. You'll be the only one in your market who can get that. You can speak freely. And more importantly, you're going to have support whenever you need it, 24/7 through our private Facebook group and through our weekly coaching calls, where you can get one-on-one attention with me, one-on-one coaching, where I will screen share with you. I will take remote control of your mouse and click through the ads manager with you and show you where to find certain things. You're not going to get that anywhere else for $19.99 one time forever. Okay. Normally, if you don't want to do it lifetime, if you don't want to do it annual, cool. It's $299 a month, which is amazing anyways. But guys, $19.99 one time forever. That's the cost. That's the same price of an annual membership. We did this before in spring, and we had a crapload of agents take their markets off the board, claiming their markets forever with this offer. So to take advantage of this lifetime membership for the same price as annual, basically it's $1,000 off. This is good until October 1st. So this podcast comes out on the 26th. So let's see, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. On October 1st, this deal is no longer good. So as long as it's September's date, this is good. You just have to use code FALL19 in checkout. So massiveagentsociety.com. In the checkout, that's where you put what your market is. Make sure you do check our sold out markets map to make sure yours isn't already taken. But guys, if you go to massiveagentsociety.com and click claim market and you see yours is not claimed yet, this is your chance to claim it forever. Imagine being able to do that with a Zillow zip code. First off, they sell it to 8 other agents, but this is your chance. So until October 1st, use fall19, the discount code at checkout to get $1,000 off lifetime membership to the Massive Agent Society, $19.99 one time. Claim your market. And I'm telling you guys, one closing, and you will get closings. If you put in the work, if you set up these ads the way we tell you to, if you ask for feedback when it's not performing the way that you want it to, and you stick with it and implement the follow-up system we put into place. And look, we have all of that. We show you how to set up the follow-up system, how to do it, what to say, all that stuff. Because getting the lead is just catching the ball. Now you have to run and score with it. We show you how to get all the way to closing. If you put in the work, I can promise you, you will be closing deals. And just one is going to pay for this. So anyways, I'm excited about it because last time, that $1,000 off made it possible for a lot of other agents. So if you've been on the fence, take advantage. Fall 19 discount code at checkout, massiveagentsociety.com. First, make sure your market's even available. And if it is, grab it until October 1st, fall 19, the discount code. I cannot tell you how impactful mastering Facebook ads has been for my business. It's not just about getting leads. It's about being able to get more people to see what it is you're posting and what it is you're putting out there. So whether that's a video or an article you write or just a post that you really want people to see, knowing how to run Facebook ads effectively is going to help you do that in a major way. Like this is how people dominate local markets, is by mastering Facebook ads, not just for capturing leads. Yes, you're going to get leads. It's kind of what the system is built on. But when you learn how to master branding videos and the retargeting education that we have and what you don't know yet about retargeting will blow your mind. That's where the real power is. Retargeting and getting this coaching and mentoring on an ongoing basis. Whenever you have a question, you're like, oh, my ad got denied. Why? Well, let's find out. Most people on their own, they throw their hands up. And most agents, every time Facebook makes a change on what they allow, they throw their hands up. This is a way in one place with one payment forever to stay up on all those changes that Facebook is about to make, because of course they're going to keep changing stuff. We're going to tell you what happened and what it means, what you can do about it, how you need to change things. I'm excited for whoever takes advantage. I'm excited for those willing to put a little bit on the line financially and then make the time commitment. Look, if you're not going to make the time commitment, if you're not going to do it, please don't save your money. Okay. I'm not interested in just getting your money. I want to see you actually succeed. That is why we do it. And we can make a living while helping you to blow up your business. That's what's important to me. Win, win. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you listening. For anyone who's left a review or a rating on iTunes, also known as Apple Podcasts, thank you. It really helps out a lot. It's an indicator to Apple that, hey, this is good stuff. And so we show up higher in the results when people search for us. So the more of you guys leaving reviews and ratings, the better. And if you have not subscribed yet, that's also a huge indicator to Apple as well, which helps us with our podcast SEO, so to speak. Ranking higher in the search when people are looking for real estate podcasts. So if you have not left a review, please do. You could simply just go to this link to do it, massiveagentpodcast.com/review, massiveagentpodcast.com/review. Leave us a quick rating or review, and we would love you forever. And if you have not yet subscribed, what the hell are you doing? Subscribe to the podcast, because then you don't have to remember every Thursday morning to come back for a new episode. It just pops up and then you get a notification. Hey, new episode. And then you click and listen. It's making your life easier and it's helping us out at the same time. So do that. Thank you guys. I appreciate your time. I'll be back next week. I'm going to be in New York City, but I will have a new episode coming out on Thursday, the 3rd of October. I cannot believe it's already October. This is the last podcast of September. Unbelievable. Thank you guys. Go out there, go sell some homes, go close some loans. Take care.